Hi, I am Ashish Sundrial. Our problem statement is crowd size estimation. The other two group members are Arihant Barjatya and Dibekanti Kumar. I'll start by providing an overview of our project. Our project is an implementation of the paper CSRNet from the crowd counting. For the crowd counting, we have used Google Colab to run all the Python notebooks. For the dataset, we have taken Shanghai Tech dataset. We have also created and saved the ground truths using the Gaussian filters, and also we have provided the link for them in the linked repo. For the ground truth generation, the Shanghai Tech dataset provides us with head annotations. This sparse matrix was converted in a 2D density map by using a Gaussian filter. Then after that, we sum up all the values in the density map to get the actual count. In order to generate the ground truths, you should use the create dataset file provided, which is this file as shown here. Afterwards, if you are planning to run it, you have to make sure that the root variable is changed to the proper address. Also, note that we have already saved all the ground truths in our final datasets. For the training part, the model architecture is divided into two parts, the front end and the back end. The front end consists of 13 pre-trained layers of the VGG16 model. The fully connected layers of the VGG16 were not taken for this. The back end comprises of the dilated convolution layers. The dilation rate at which the maximum accuracy was obtained was experimentally found out to be around 2, as it was suggested in the CSNR paper, CSRNet paper. Also, in order to train and model this, in order to train the model and save the checkpoints, you should use the file csrnet_train, which is this file. Dibekanti will explain more about this later. And then we have also made a 90-10 split to choose the best trained parameters. Also note that you have to make the splits separately for part A and part B of the datasets. So make sure to change the task variable properly to save all the checkpoints and the state of the model. Also, change the root variable to the address of your current folder. For the testing part, use the csrnet_test file, which is this file for the testing part, and to test the model, and also to save them for using the saved model states. Also for testing also, you have to change the root variable to the address of your current folder. For the results part, for the Shanghai Tech part A, MAE was calculated to be around 88.23, and for Shanghai Tech part B, it was calculated to be around 16.68, as you can see here. Also the images for both part is also shown. Yeah, I think that's it from my side. Now Arihant will take over from here. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Ashish. As Ashish explained, we tried to implement the CSRNet paper in this project. So this is the CSRNet paper, and in the problem statement domain of crowd counting, there has been many approaches initially, varying from the detection based approaches, regression based approaches, then the density estimation based approaches, to the CNN based approaches. So our solution is like the paper provided is not in the form of a CNN based approach only. So in the CNN based approach, there was the state of art that existed initially was the MCNN, the multi-column CNNs, but the multi-column CNN has a drawback that they took a lot of time to train, and also they were like redundant. They had a redundant structures. So as many columns seem to provide the similar results without many differences. So the CSR network tried to overcome with these all the defaults. So the new concept that Siena network used was the dilated convolution. So as you can see in the dilated convolution, this is the basic idea of how the dilated convolution works. So in this is a normal convolution which is a dilation, which has a dilation rate 1. This is a this is a convolution, dilated convolution with a dilation rate 2 and dilation rate 3. This all uses a kernel size of 3 cross 3 only, and you can see the output size are different in all those. So what was the benefit of using dilated convolution? So initially, like in the deep network, deep neural network, for most the rule of thumb was to do the max pooling, convolution, and then the upsampling. But this is like a very time consuming and computationally costly process. So to overcome this, the dilated convolution approach was introduced. The authors of the paper had tried like 4 different architectures, and as Ashish also stated, like the second architecture worked best with the like they tried, and the second architecture, CSRNet B, gave the best results. So we also went forward with that. The data set which we used had Shanghai Tech data set, has a total of 1200 data points, and with data augmentation we tried to like increase the data points so that we have a generalized architecture, generalized neural network. Finally, the evaluation matrix which we used was MSE and MAE. MSE was used in the training purposes, and MAE was used in the testing purposes. So from now, yeah, this is all from my side. So after this, Divyakanti will be explaining the code part of our project. Thank you.
So thank you, Arihant. So here we have used 3 notebooks. First is create dataset, followed by the training, and then the testing. So for the creating the dataset, what we have done is firstly we have done separately for Shanghai and Shanghai B. Firstly, we have to take all the addresses, followed by running the Gaussian filter for each of the images, and storing the Gaussian density map that we're getting from the Gaussian filter in the ground truth itself, so that anybody else can use it if they want to. Similarly for the Shanghai B. Now to the training. So in the training, similar to the create dataset that we have done, we have firstly got all the addresses, followed by doing a random split of 90-10% train and validation, and I wrote task A here because this is for part A. Then I've ran the whole model. We have ran the whole model, that is, we have run about, we went on for about 40 or so epochs. About that point we saw that the training is that the accuracies are quite stable. So here I've used the validation set to store the model best as well as the checkpoint on every epoch. So that I had done some testing, that is I have firstly stored all the addresses, then I've loaded the model from the saved model parameters that I've saved previously. I've got the model best parameter for B because I'm doing for part B of the Shanghai dataset, followed by the testing part, that is same as the validation part. The code is same as validation part, which is there in the train.py file in the code that you've seen. So what you have done here is technically we have this part we have technically got the predicted value for each of the image, and then seen what is the MAE that we have got at the end, that is the mean absolute error. So here you can see how exactly is the we are getting the actual and the predicted values. So for the actual values we have done a sum over the Gaussian filtered map that we have had there, and the predicted we have from the output data sum, that is the output that we're getting from running the model of the image. Thank you.